Okay, so I just saw The Electric State on Netflix, and well, if you're a fan of the Russo brothers, uh, a fan of Marvel movies, or just Chris Pratt in general, then you'll probably like this movie. If you're a fan of the book, you're gonna hate it. Now, I'm not saying like the quality of the movie was bad. I think it was at least a decent movie. I enjoyed it, but it was a terrible adaptation, at least in my opinion. So the plot of the movie is similar to what they do in the book, but just completely different. So it's still about a young girl and a little robot going across the country trying to save her little brother. That's basically the general plot, though, but they don't really reveal that in the book until near the end. Here, it's revealed at the very start. How the book does it is very different, as they keep the entirety of it as a secret until the very end of it, though. As we see in in the book, it's all mostly environmental storytelling told in very beautiful and well-made artwork by Simon Stollenhag. Now, the visuals in the movie are pretty great, but I feel like that they still could have adapted it a lot better. Although they do explain this in the movie, they don't really explain it in the book. At least I don't think they explained it. The whole thing is centered around these devices called neurocasters, and they were used to win a war against somebody. They didn't really go into any details, at least I don't think they did, where who they were fighting and for what for, only that the even though that they didn't lose any human lives, there was an extensive amount of collateral damage, which, might imply that some innocent people did get caught in the crossfire. Fast forward a few years, every single person on the planet has a neurocaster. And just quickly though, I like to mention about how well they actually adapted the neurocasters in the movie. Like this is what the neurocaster looks like in the book, and this is what it looks like in the movie. Not an exact recreation, but I still think they did a good job adapting it. Though they still had the theme of rampant consumerism and loss with connection of self and all that stuff, but it how they did it though is that they still like ended it with this kind of like joyful and hopeful kind of tone, but how the book interpreted though is how things went all bright and sunny to progressively darker, not just like, time of day, but also with themes, which, by the way, the book had this shit. Like they were able to adapt quite a lot of awesome shit in the movie though, but they couldn't do Neurocaster zombies. I would have liked to have seen everyone's reaction to this. Like the cast and the robots, like how would they react to this? Like what would happen if they realized this shit was going on? Like what's going on here? That we don't really get an explanation as to what this whole shit is in the book. Just that the girl and the robot were just trying to get through this zombie apocalypse shit. We don't know what the hell is really going on here other than some collective intelligence controlling people's bodies. Like, what is going on here? Not to mention that the plot of the book didn't really have anything to do with starting some robot revolution or saving the world or anything like that. It was just simply about a girl and her brother just trying to survive in a very dark and fucked up world, and we're left with this ambiguous ending where left wondering, like, did they manage to escape? Did they manage to save her brother from dying? Like, we don't know what the hell happened. Like, he wasn't connected into some kind of like a neurocast network and used as a like an antenna or part of the central system or anything like that. He was just some kid whose mind was trapped in a machine. That was it. And Here, they basically made it about a guy with a god complex. So, me, it is probably just a biased opinion, but I personally like the book a bit more than the movie. But like I said, the movie was still good. But if you're a fan of the book, you will hate it. Oh, before I stop, there's actually one more thing I want to bring up, and it's this little in-universe show that they actually have in the Electric State. Is this cute little cartoon show called Kid Cosmo? Just by looking at the few little clips that are in there, it's actually got me kind of interested in that, and I'm hoping that actually becomes a real show. I just wanted to say that because it just looks pretty good to me.